Okay, I'm out at 1200 Stewart. I'm standing at the corner of Minor and Stewart right now. So here, this is Stewart here. Got Minor going this direction. You can see they're quite a ways along. The phasing, I just walked with Conrad and Curtis. Curtis is from JTM, and Reese also from JTM. So I got to ask a lot of questions about timing on this. So the easiest part here is Stewart. We've got concrete panels that we're replacing out on the road here. They're working on the TCP and all that kind of stuff. They're kind of hoping that we could start at the end of September. The main objective, though, is they'd like to be done by the end of November on this. They seem to be going at a pretty good speed here. I've seen a lot of stuff cleared out since I've been out here 2 months ago. So things like the decking there that they're using for the elevator and all that stuff will be removed. So let's talk about what needs to be excavated and what's going to be replaced. Okay, so on Stewart, I've got all the concrete included in here. I've got the curbing included. I've got the concrete road panels included, so we're all good there. But one thing I want to point out is on the back section of this concrete, when we go to remove this concrete, they just need backfill. And that backfill right there ends up being, on average, it comes out about 6 feet from the building, and we need about 30 inches of, it looks like anywhere from 24 to 30 inches, but I'd like to put in 30 inches of just backfill dirt. That's going to go over on top of, I don't know if it's going to go over all of this or not, but it all needs to be backfilled. So when we rip out the concrete, we could put all that backfill in here. We're also going to include labor days for some excavation on conduit. Like there's going to be conduit excavation through here like we did on First Light and how we did it on 707 Terry. There's also Silva cells on this project too, and I need to count them out and add that to the bid on bid revision 1. So bid revision 1 is going to have backfill of that area. It's going to have a lot more excavation to include on each street for Minor, on Stewart, and on Denny. Okay, but there are some Silva cells that we'll have to excavate, just like we did over on First Light. Tristan just got done doing that, and he told me for each one it takes about 4 hours to dig out a Silva cell. So I'm keeping that in mind on this video. But we'll rip all this out. We'll put in concrete. If there's any concrete bases for benches, we'll put those in. There's also going to be a couple concrete bases that have light poles on them that are going to be removed. We do not have to be responsible for any strain pole or light pole installation, but we might have to do 3 or 4 concrete bases, and I'm looking up the detail later today to apply it to our bid revision 1. So that's pretty much it on Stewart. Stewart's not too bad. And we'll probably start, if we start in late September or 1st of October timeframe, it's probably going to be on Stewart. And then we're going to do Minor and then do Denny last. Okay, so now this part of the video is for Minor. I had a bunch of removal of curb going down this, but there is no curb at this point. Existing, there is only asphalt. So I got to change my quantities on that to reflect just removal of what you see is existing here. You got a lot of asphalt that goes up here on Minor. There's going to be sewer lids and stuff. All the sewer lids and all that stuff is already put in right now, so we don't have to worry about it. We're just going to have to remove all the asphalt and stuff that's around here so that we can put in new concrete sidewalk per the drawings. You can see this right here. I don't know exactly if that's staying here, if that's getting changed, but I will add some more excavation on this side. But I'm going to be taking out all the curb excavation here. And really we only have to do removal of asphalt from about 8 feet out from the building this direction. The grind and overlay on here, that's going to have to be adjusted at some point, because right now how I measured it, I measured all the asphalt to be done on minor based on doing like full depth removal, and that's not what we have to do on that. It's going to be grind and overlay probably to the halfway point of the road, so I'm going to end up adjusting that. I'm going to make sure on bid revision 1 that we're not doing any of the drive approach stuff that's right here. That goes into their garage, and that'll be our entrance for when we do the striping. I did the striping on a totally separate bid, got that approved about 5 months ago. I got it approved, but it's not on the contract yet. It'll probably get included with all this work. Okay, so down at this end, all the hand holes and all that kind of stuff, those are all staying. We don't have to do any of that. We'll have to rip out that base, but we'll only have to take it out about 3 feet down. But everything else on minor is pretty simple. There's not a lot to have to do, except for we got to work around a lot of lids. A lot of lids around here, and they'll adjust them themselves before we put in our concrete. We might do just a little minor adjustment, you know, just as we're setting our concrete, but that would be it, pretty minor. Okay. The add alternates, they want me to take this out of the base bid, but put a price together separately for replacing these 2 areas here, taking out this 1 ramp and putting in a 2nd ramp, okay, which I had this included already in the base bid, as well as some asphalt restoration out here. But instead, this is going to get adjusted to being its own entity here. So what Jamie used on this corner right here, we're going to separate that out and put it as its own price on kind of like an itemized list. Across the street, I included this whole corner with new concrete, but they want to put this as its own itemized list to there. They'd already built this, put that to there, so they're really saying that as I'm saying that, I'm noticing broken concrete here, so cracked and broken. So I'm going to adjust this so that the sidewalk here to there stays in the base bid, but from the ramp here straight across on that joint and then all of this here, I am going to leave it right now as an alternate. So I'll take the square footage on this here and I will separate this out, and we'll put this on that 2nd itemized list of work to do. So this is going to come out of the base bid right here in this corner, as well as this curbing. All this curbing that goes around to there, actually all the way down to there, to the catch basin, all of that's going to stay. And then that concrete line there, this is all going to stay here. And then this is already excavated, so I'll be able to take out some of this because it's already been excavated. It's been already excavated all the way down this strip at about 8 feet out. 8 feet out there already is, the removal's already done, but about 6 foot wide of concrete is going to have to be replaced. Will have to be replaced all the way down from here to the other end of the road. The curb and gutter that's along here, that's all going to have to get removed. As you can see down there, all that curb is going to get removed and replaced. Okay, light pole I think stays. All of this though, this will get removed and replaced according to the drawings. The full depth repair that I had just past this bus only striping, we're keeping that in the bid right now. You can see out there, there's like a little repair It's not focusing very well, but it's right in that location. I'm keeping that in the bid for now. But I'm reducing the excavation on this potentially. I got to see with all the excavation that needs to be done for conduit and the benches and the Silva cells that go along here. So I'll get that figured out. This area right here is the alleyway between the two buildings. This whole alleyway, I got to take my measurement. I originally measured it out to here, but I got to take it back to the building there and remeasure my alleyway on that. But that is going to be a separate item on the bid. They don't know if they're going to have us do that yet or not. But all along Denny, you could see it drops down about 2 feet. So I need to add 24-inch depth by 8 foot times the length of this to backfill with just native soil. And then we'll put in our the spec'd out crushed rock along Denny before we put in the concrete. That goes for all 3 sides. And we've got that included on the crushed rock. Striping, I talked about the striping out here. I'm gonna send the information over to StripeRite, which is now owned by SPM. And I'm gonna have them bid all the striping and send a quote directly to West Bank. Because I want to see if we don't have to take on the striping like we did at First Light. See if that can go direct to West Bank. Okay, so then on this corner here, you've got 10 feet at about 3 foot depth all the way across here that needs to be backfilled with just dirt, just backfill dirt, and then our typical crushed rock and then concrete on top. Out here, there's a pole right there. There's these 2 poles that they're talking about, whether or not they're removing those poles. And if the bases need to come out, they're gonna confirm that with me, and that'll end up being a change order, I think, by the time they get the answer on that. Okay. Across the street here, we got all of Yale right here that we're replacing. Right now you can see it's asphalt on top of concrete in this area. So I think I've got the same thing on this. It's part of a 2-inch grind and overlay, I think, but I'll confirm that. All of this comes out on this island. I think they're even taking out this design here that's in here. I think this is all coming out. We've got 1 base, 2 base, 3, 4, I think that's those are concrete bases underneath, but they're talking about removing those, and we're going to put in a new ADA ramp there, new ADA ramp there, and I don't think there's one right there. I think it's only right there, and there. I already got them marked off in purple on my drawings on Connex, but this whole island comes out. And this is potentially where we might be putting in some concrete bases. They'll set these signs and posts. All posts will be set by somebody else. We just got to do concrete bases. Okay? And now I'm back on Stewart, where, like I said earlier, I said there were 6 feet. But like in this first half of the stretch, it's more like 7 feet. I'm going to make sure we're covered there. I'll probably make it all 8 feet going down. This all 10 feet going down. And there'll be 3 feet of raw native soil to put in there, and then our crushed rock, and then our concrete. And that should do it for now. Denny's going to be the last street that we work on, so I'm guessing that Denny might be in November, and then the month of October, and hopefully maybe the last week of September we're working on Stewart Street and Minor.